Right, you lot, let's talk Villa. And without further ado, let's get in to today's video, a post-match reaction to our 0-0 draw with Chelsea in the FA Cup 4th round. As you can see from the title, I believe it to be a game of two halves, and we'll get onto that a little bit later on in the video and my thoughts on the game and how we have played and are playing. But first, obviously, let's get into the Twitter feed, as you can see on the side. And a simple tweet, my fellow Aston Villa fans, a simple question before recording today. Are you worried about Aston Villa's attacking form after another poor offensive display against Chelsea in the FA Cup? 34% of you from 44 votes said yes, and 66% said no, we will fire soon. One reply, which was from James, or at Jimmy the Brummy, saying no because we had more shots on target than them. And we'll leave that one there. I get what James is saying, but I also understand the people that are voting yes as well. Our last three games, 1-0 victory against Middlesbrough, which is a deflected Matty Cash shot from outside the box. 0-0 against Everton, where, let's be honest, we never really looked like scoring in that game, to be honest. And in this game, we just never looked like scoring, you know what I mean? Watkins hasn't scored in, I think, 6 games now. I don't know when the last time Diaby scored. That was probably about 6 games ago as well, surely. Did he score against Burnley? He might have got one against Burnley. But he hasn't looked like scoring either, to be honest. And we just didn't really look like we carried much of an attacking threat. Now, obviously, we play Newcastle next in the league, but let me know in the comments down below this video. Are you worried about how we look attackingly? But let's get into the player ratings. So in terms of our player ratings going through the starting 11, in goal, obviously, Emi Martinez, a straight up 10 out of 10. I mean, if we didn't have him in goal, if we had Robin Olsen in goal and we were like rotating for a cup goalkeeper, we lose this game. There's no ifs, buts, ands, maybes, possiblies, maybe more overs or anything like that. Without Emi Martinez in goal, we lose that game. 10 out of 10. Just like the Everton game, just not putting a foot wrong at the moment. And we really need to build on the fact that we have probably the world's best keeper in the net, because that's something that, you know, great teams have. They have great goalkeepers. You look at Alisson, you look at Edison, you even go back in the day, Dida for AC Milan. They have these goalkeepers. 10 out of 10, didn't put a foot wrong. Cash, I would actually give like a 7 or 8 out of 10 actually. I thought he dealt with Raheem Sterling really, really well down that left hand side for Chelsea, right hand side for us. But offensively, I just don't think he really offers that much. Like I say, he seems to be like petrified of crossing the ball. But defensively against Sterling, I thought he actually played quite well. And then Konsa and Longley in the middle, both 6s, like they were fine. They didn't really do anything like amazing. Obviously, Konsa never puts a foot wrong. Longley in the build-up, I just don't know. He just gives the ball away so many times. He loves a pass getting intercepted. And I think I tweeted out during the game as well, I think that'll probably be our starting centre-back partnership if Powell's still injured for a while, because I think Longley is overall better on the ball than Diego Carlos. But nothing to scream home about for those two. Alex Moreno, again, decent attacking threat going down the left-hand side, but I think Luca Digne comes back and reclaims that spot off of his form this season, so another 6 for Alex Moreno. McGinn was trying stuff, but again, just didn't really offer much. He just got a bit lost in this game, I thought. So a 6 for him as well. Kamara as well, he breaks up play well, he gets back well, and he can pick out a decent pass, but this again wasn't his finest game, so another 6 for him. Douglas Luiz, couple of good little runs in the middle as well. Looked a bit threatening going forward at points, so a 7 for him. I thought in terms of our midfield, which did get overrun this game, he was probably the shining light. And then Tielemans as well, or Tielemans, tried stuff, probably should have scored. He had a really, really good opportunity where he didn't even put it on target. I think that was late in the first half from memory. And again, he's getting back to full fitness after an injury, but probably a 6 for him as well, because there were a couple of just really annoying and frustrating misplaced passes from him as well, that kind of stuttered our momentum a bit. Going up front, Diaby and Watkins, I have to give 5s to. Again, same as the Everton game. They just weren't threatening at all. Diaby especially. Watkins had one little snapshot which kind of forced a good save from the Chelsea goalkeeper. But apart from that, they just weren't in the game. They barely got touches. You can tell Watkins is getting frustrated because he done an absolute elbow in the back foul as well during the game. You can just tell they're just not getting the service. Diaby really has become a bit ineffective, and I think he needs a spell on the bench. And Watkins clearly isn't going to get a spell on the bench. He's our only striker that we have in the team now. Duran's injured, but yeah, they were just ineffective fives. They couldn't get into the game. Whether that's because of how we're playing, which is offensively quite poor at the moment, or down to them as well because they're still making the runs. I don't know, but poor performance from our attacking unit this game. So getting into my post-match reaction on this game, I'll throw some stuff up on the screen as always. But let's look at why I think this was a game of two halves. Half-time stats here we have for you. Chelsea shots 6, shots on target 4, and they had 69% of the possession in the first half. In contrast, we had 3 shots, 1 on target, obviously only 31% of the possession. They doubled our passes. Their pass accuracy was 92%. Ours was 80%, which is poor for an Emery team, how we used to control the ball. And in that first half, we've been playing pretty much how I've been saying in the last few videos, looking like a mid-table team, not really sure what we're doing going forward, not really threatening, just sitting, holding in and hoping for the best. But you contrast that with the full-time stats, and you can see Chelsea in the second half had 4 shots, and only no shots on target. So 10 shots they finished with, 4 on target. Whereas Villa, we had 10 shots in the second half and 4 on target. So, you look at the possession stats there. Chelsea have gone down to 58% possession. We've gone up to 42%. So an extra 11% possession gained for us in that second half. The passes, you can tell our accuracy gone up a little bit, only 3%, but we forced Chelsea's accuracy down 2% as well. We were so much better in the second half. It was really a game of two halves. And in the second half, we had a good spell of possession where we dominated like 90%. But again, all of that possession, we didn't look like scoring. We just did not look like scoring at all in that game. And we haven't looked like scoring really, let's be honest, since after the Burnley game. The Middlesbrough game, we didn't really particularly threaten their goal at all. And then Kashi gets that deflected goal. Everton, apart from Bailey's chance, which was a bit of a snapshot on his right foot, I don't remember us getting a good chance in that game. Chelsea, Watkins' snapshot forces the keeper into a decent save. Konsa has a snapshot that goes wide from near the edge of the box. We just look really weak offensively, and I do worry, and I do think this is probably why we're after people like Morgan Rogers. Jonathan Rowe is a new one that's been linked. Duran is now injured for 7 weeks, probably. I think that's several weeks of what we've said. We have Watkins, we have Diaby, who really isn't flourishing in that striker role at the moment. Do we push Bailey on? Zaniolo has looked relegation team quality at best. Unfortunately for him, it really hasn't worked out for him in the Premier League. And I just don't know where our goals are coming from. I still believe in Emery, I still believe in his plan, and I still believe we can go back to Villa Park and get a result in the replay against Chelsea, which isn't ideal to obviously have a replay, but it is what it is. But we did look like we hadn't played football in 12 days. That was evident. It's a bit of a balancing act in football. You either play too much or you play too little, and it looked like they'd had 12 days off. They didn't look on it. Like I say, it pretty much took us 45 minutes to get into that game, and probably an Emery rollicking at half-time as well. He did say that he got into the boys at half-time. And I just worry, again, this is just part of our form dip that seems to be happening, and I'm not particularly thrilled with our activity in the transfer window. Dendoncker now gone. Duran now, might have been on his way out, but he's injured for 7 weeks now, so that's by the by. I think Tommy O'Reilly's going to go out on loan. We've got weaker in January. Our squad has got weaker in January. Who are we bringing in? Hopefully a couple of people. Obviously, we bought Costa in, but he's straight back out on loan, so he doesn't make us stronger right now. And with this form, again, it is Chelsea who are looking good. I'll give Chelsea, and the Chelsea fans watching this, all the credit in the world. You looked amazing in that game, and you've really got yourselves together under Poch now. But Villa, we're not looking good attacking. Defensively, we look all right. Again, Emi Martinez keeps us in that game. If Robin Olsen is in goal, we lose that game 3-4-0, I think, at a minimum. But I'm just a little bit worried. But hopefully, we bring them back to Villa Park, where we can get Villa Park rocking, get it a sellout, 40,000 fans. Hopefully only only 5,000 or so Chelsea fans or whatever. Hopefully Astrid Wet doesn't get to come along. Banner from Birmingham in general. But anyway, I digress. It was a boring game. There isn't too much to say about it. But in the end of the day, a game we probably deserve to lose on the balance of it. But we haven't. We've got a draw. We bring them back to Villa Park. And hopefully we can progress to the 5th round. The draw's today. I'll be tweeting out about that, so be sure to go over and follow me on there. Subscribe if you are enjoying the videos. Newcastle preview will be out tomorrow, as in Sunday, if this video comes out on time. I will be at Villa Park for the Newcastle game. We'll get all into that in that video. So subscribe for more, like if you are enjoying the content. And always, as always, be nice to everyone, man.